Memory concerns? A free memory screening may help put your mind at ease. If you're over 55 and have some memory problems, you should make an appointment with Clinilabs for a free memory screen and consultation from our board-certified doctors. The doctor will discuss with you the many options available if you have some memory loss. Remember, with memory loss, it's not just about you. It also affects your family and friends. There is no cost to you or your insurance company. All memory screen results remain strictly confidential. Call now for your free memory screen. 212-994-4567. That's 212-994-4567. If you can't do it for yourself, do it for your family. Safe, reliable transportation is available from your home to our office. For more information or to set up an appointment for your free confidential memory screen, call Clinilabs at 212-994-4567.
North Jersey, 1500 WGHT 837. We are live and local. Jimmy Howes and Greta Latona. And joining us today is the founder of Clinilabs, Dr. Gary Zammit. Dr. Gary Zammit, he is a clinical studies for a leading pharmaceutical company. He founded this lab. He has 150 scientific publications to his names, 2 books, and is an expert in the development of new medications that support healthy brain functioning as we age. Thank you for joining us this morning and telling us more information about these different studies and trials that you are in charge of. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Greta. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Dr. Zammit, what inspired you personally to get into this field? Because I would think every scientist or doctor would want to do what you're doing.
Well, it's a tremendously exciting field. New developments are being made every day in the pharmaceutical industry, and we're always looking for new treatments that can reduce suffering or alleviate illness in people. I got interested in this after watching my father go through a serious illness, and what helped him was the medication that he had at hand. And when I saw that, it hooked me on getting involved and being a part of the process.
Wow, that's something you and I both have in common. My father went through the same type of illness, and it really affects not only the patient, but the people surrounding them and the family members.
Absolutely, and we now know as people age, they don't have to suffer from disability or illness any longer. We've increased our lifespan over the last century by about 30 years on average. So we're living longer lives, and we don't have to live them in suffering. There are things that we can do to improve the quality of our lives as we age.
How common is this problem for us human beings? How common is it?
Memory impairment.
Yeah.
So just about everyone will experience some type of memory problem as we age. It's common. But about 5% of people will experience those severe symptoms that interfere with functioning or disrupts their life. About 5% of people between the age of 65 and 74, and then about half of people over the age of 85. So as we get older, these problems can become more common, and Alzheimer's disease risk goes up.
Wow.
Why do we start to show these memory problems as we age? And what is there a found cause for it?
That's a great question, and there are many scientists working on solving that riddle. We don't know all of the causes. We do know that there are some characteristics of people who develop Alzheimer's disease or that severe memory impairment. One of the findings in the brains of people who develop Alzheimer's disease is something called plaque. It's a buildup of sticky protein around the nerve cells in the brain, and it seems to interfere with healthy brain functioning. And then there are also twisted strands of protein in the brain that are called tangles, and they also seem to be a contributor to the disease. There are some markers that are under investigation now to see if we can test people to see if they're likely to develop Alzheimer's disease later on, but those haven't quite yet been approved.
And once people start having minor memory problems, is it reversible?
That's another great question. We think that it's very difficult to reverse memory impairment associated with Alzheimer's disease. The medications that are out there and available are very limited in their ability to improve symptoms. So it's very hard to reverse. What we do think is that it may be easier and better to prevent or delay the onset of these memory problems by trying to catch them early. And that's really the focus of our research now, is working with healthy people in a clinical trial setting to determine if new medications might prevent or delay the onset of memory impairment as they age.
Well, Greta and I both really studied a website about what you do and how you do it, and we got some insights about your specialty. Is there any special memory loss that you as a doctor, a scientist, can take a look and say, wow, this guy does more than forget where he leaves his glasses or where he left his sneakers last night? Is there a specific kind of memory loss that you can look at and determine, hey, this is the early signs of something serious? Or is it just like a dice roll, a specific pattern that you know can lead to serious problems?
There doesn't appear to be a specific type of memory loss that is associated with Alzheimer's or that is a predictor of Alzheimer's. But we think that it's more likely to be associated with an assessment of severity of memory impairment. So, for example, we all might have a little bit of difficulty here and there walking into a room and forgetting why we went into that room. For most of us, that's just an inconsequential memory lapse.
Right.
But for some people, that can be a warning sign or a signal that may be an indicator of a more progressive type of memory problem. So we look for people who have more severe problems that disrupt their lives, where memory problems may represent challenges for them in planning things, solving problems, maybe trouble following a recipe or following driving directions. It may take them longer to solve common problems or engaging in simple tasks like paying bills, forgetting things at home, at work, or even at play, forgetting the rules of a familiar game. So we look for the measures of severity that give us an idea that, hey, this is not just a common accidental experience for this person. This is really impacting their lives.
Joining us this morning, we're privileged to have Dr. Gary Zammit, an expert in his field. He's a professor at the, correct me on is it the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, New York City?
Yes, it is. That's correct.
Your works include more than 150 scientific publications, 2 books, and you're an expert in the development of new medications that support healthy brain function as we age. What can we do? What can we do to prevent memory problems, improve memory as we age? The average person, like me. My dad had Alzheimer's. Is there anything I can do?
Well, there probably are some things that we can do to generally improve our health as we age, and these may have net beneficial effects on memory and our overall functioning. So simple things like paying attention to diet, maintaining a healthy diet, eating lots of fruits and vegetables, exercising regularly, according to the CDC. Elderly people age 64 and older, need to exercise every week. About 2.5 hours of exercise every week is recommended. We need to socialize, engage with other people, and overall remain socially relevant and involved. Taking our medications regularly is important. Sometimes people will forget to take their medicines, or for other reasons, perhaps cost, will not follow through with their prescription.
Right.
Taking those medicines are important, and getting an annual flu shot important. So all those general things can help. The one thing that we're investigating in our clinical trials is whether a new investigational medication, if we take it regularly, if that will delay the onset of memory problems. We don't know the answer yet, but that's what we're trying to find out. Other than that, we don't have anything definitive that may prevent memory impairment or Alzheimer's disease.
What a major breakthrough this would be for millions of people if what you're doing shows a tremendous amount of success. Doctor, you would be a hero. You would be a hero. There are so many people with dementia or memory problems. Are there any medications that can improve memory or prevent memory problems as we age currently?
The medicines that we're investigating are those that were originally developed for the treatment of diabetes. And there's been some suggestion from some studies done with animals and studies done in Europe that regular use of these medicines may help to reduce the likelihood of developing Alzheimer's disease or delay the onset of symptoms. Once somebody has Alzheimer's disease, there are some medications that can be used. These fall into a class of drugs called cholinesterase inhibitors. These are drugs like Aricept that most people are familiar with. That may result in some improvement in symptoms, but the improvement tends to be very modest, and it doesn't last for very long. As time progresses, the disease gets the upper hand. So there are some medications out there, but their use and application is fairly limited. We don't yet have that true preventative treatment yet.
What type of plaque affects the nerve cells? Is it that same type where a diet could prevent a rapid progression of the disease?
This type of plaque is called amyloid, and it's particularly associated with protein that exists in the brain. I don't know, and I don't think that we have any solid evidence to suggest that changing diet is going to change levels of plaque. There may be something inherent in the people that develop these plaques. It could be genetic, or there could be other factors that predispose them to developing these plaques. But these plaques are really sticky, gooey bunches of protein that don't belong where they form.
Now, as founder of Clinilabs, you do clinical studies there. Are you looking for the general public or a certain demographic who would benefit from being part of a study? Are you looking for people, and how could they contact you for that?
Yes, we are. We're looking for healthy, elderly people, people who are age 64 and older, 65 and older, and we see people into their 70s and 80s, and we particularly appreciate seeing the older folks in that range because they may actually be at greater risk. As I said earlier, about half of people 85 and older will develop symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. So we're looking really for healthy elderly who can go into this type of study that it uses an investigational drug to determine if we can prevent or delay Alzheimer's symptoms. But we're also doing other studies in Alzheimer's disease where we're looking for people who have mild memory impairment and then even severe memory impairment and the diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease. So we're really looking for folks with all ranges, but our main focus right now is that study with healthy elderly in the attempt to determine if this medicine, if used regularly over a long term, will prevent or delay.
Where and how can people sign up for your clinical studies today?
Oh, thank you so much for asking. So people can reach us in many ways. We've tried to open many doors. They can call us at 212-994-4567. It's 212-994-4567, and that reaches us both in our New Jersey facility as well as our New York facility. People can visit our website. It's clinilabs.com/volunteer, or they can send us an email at participate@clinilabs.com. And any of those ways will get the attention of one of my associates and staff members who will be happy to talk to people and describe the type of research that we're doing.
We say right now, don't put this off. You can help your fellow man as well as get rid of this horrible situation for people. And Dr. Zammit is at the forefront of this. 212-994-4567. Volunteer. Get involved. You're very serious about what you do.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk with you and your audience.
212-994-4567. Clinilabs. Call them. Volunteer. Get involved. Get information. 212-994-4567. Dr. Zammit, we hope to speak to you again, and I want to wish you a very happy holiday, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much, and happy holidays to you.
You too. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays.
Thank you. Okay.
Dr. Gary Zammit, 212-994-4567 from Clinilabs.